Jungle Fury for me was all over the place. It split almost down in the middle of what I don't like in a PR season to what I do like. The writer strike made things worse. I might have looked differently at the season if it didn't happen, but we'll never know. However, Jungle Fury did some pretty nice things that other PR seasons hadn't tackled yet.
The style.
When you turn on an episode of Jungle Fury, the first thing you'll notice is the common aesthetics of Power Rangers and art all there. The season goes into a more hands-on martial arts fighting style. Every PR season does martial arts. It's a cornerstone of the franchise, but this one goes into a more fluid aspect of it, which creates these type of Ranger suits. I wasn't used to the Ranger suits missing a belt. It felt wrong, but it works for what they were going for. The main Rangers are all based on fast animals: tiger, jaguar, cheetah. The suit has to be low on restricting their bodies. The sneaker-like boots for fast action. Most of their weapons focus on melee or direct fighting. tonfa staffs, nunchucks, a split-action sword, even a fan. The original changers focus on hand-to-hand combat and gestures too, which is why the solomorphers are really out of place. I really like this season's designs. It's unique over the standard accoutrements. It also allows some unconventional material like RJ's boxing style, but doesn't cross the line of this doesn't feel like PR. That's the problem I had with Go Busters suits.
Monsters.
Jungle Fury's monsters were pretty good as well. They stuck with a set look. They leaned more towards lizards and straight edges, so they didn't usually pick animals that had fur, for example. Lots of them had spikes or poison abilities: frogs, scorpions, hawks, and squids. It made sense since a lot of the monsters start from a base Rinchi mold, so they share similar appearances. It gives a stark contrast toward Daishi since he's a lion ordering the lesser animals around. They were also very slick, so they could move around at the speeds of the Jungle Fury Rangers. I prefer monsters that can move more freely than more bulky ones like the Minotaur one that was trying to make that building fall down in its Spaced episode. It makes them look more human, but more credible.
The Overlords.
My favorite aspect of the villain side. Many seasons of Power Rangers have had Rangers used to seek out leaders or figureheads so that they could improve their abilities or get equipment. It's common, but this time in Jungle Fury, not only do the Rangers have to learn, the villains too. Even though Daishi is painted as the all-powerful being, he lacks aspects of being a good leader or a strong leader, which the Overlords teach him and Camille. It gives Camille and Daishi flaws and limitations so they aren't just generic bad guys that were locked away. Take Master Xandred from Samurai. He's this all-powerful main villain, can fight, create monsters, pretty much invincible. The only thing that kept him at bay is this sealing ability. It's his only weakness, so you don't really get much out of the character. Daishi/Jared is more interesting since he thinks he's all-powerful, then finds out he isn't due to human limitations. There are other levels of power he could attain. Carnosaur, Jellica, and Grisaka are his teachers. They put a spin on the usual teaching episodes. Since they're bad, they can be mean, abusive, and condescending towards Daishi. Grisaka even takes over Daishi's palace due to his hate of humans. Jungle Fury gave us 5 villains that you can follow and remember.
Theo and Lily.
One thing you can count on with Power Rangers is having a bad relationship subplot. From Ashley and Andros to Wes and Jen, they always seem to want to drop the ball. Jungle Fury, while it wasn't good as it could have been, Theo and Lily's story had a payoff at the end. I was honestly surprised on how good it worked. It was implied throughout the season, very similar to Tori and Blake's. The finale comes around and we see Theo learning from his experiences throughout the year, and they go on their first date. It's not over the top or forced, it's natural. It's on my list for just being a shock. I was like, where did this writing come from? Why wasn't this done in other episodes? That's what lacked for Gia's plot. It was implied all over the place. Jake tried like crazy. Even Emma talked to Gia about it, but that didn't work right because it just comes out of the blue right in the finale. It broke Gia's character. You just can't believe she'd do a 180 like that. Lily wasn't as restrained, and Theo learned his change in character, which I have to commend.
The Zords.
The Zords were a nice design. This season had gone back to the Wild Force type of gimmick of the Zords being interchangeable attachments. It was a nice break. While I like a good gimmick, having less Zords is better sometimes. This also used a lot of new animals that weren't common. Jaguar, cheetah, bat, penguin with a surfboard, a gazelle, I don't care what Jungle Fury called it. They had sub-modes that RJ can control alone, the Rhino Steel Zord, which I didn't care for. It only had a warrior mode that couldn't work with the other stuff. And the rare time that the villains have their own Zords that work with the Rangers. That was a nice idea. I like them for their looks. They're more abstract to the animals rather than just looking like a robot version of them. Some even have funny additions, like the Jaguar has sunglasses. The flying penguin and gorilla feel very similar to Optimus Primal in Beast Wars. The best is the spinning finisher. Instead of the usual sword attack, the Megazord uses its own form of melee on monsters. I like if the show would return to this style and gimmick. It gives collectors a break.
Fran.
I miss these type of characters. Fran is the Ernie of the season. I really like it when Rangers have good secondary characters that get involved with the plot. This is the spark that's missing in seasons like Megaforce and Ninja Steel. You can have secondary cast members all you want. If they don't contribute in a meaningful way, it's a waste of time. Fran was all this and a little bit more. She's a close friend of RJ, a little bit socially awkward, but has heart. She wasn't treated dumb, even though she was butt of some jokes. Fran started putting the pieces together, eventually finding out Casey and the others were the Power Rangers, and that stayed. There was no stupid time travel episode, some dumb cover-up, or a memory wipe. She was allowed to find out and be a part of the core story, plus even be the hero for a few moments. She grew as a character throughout the season, which was one of the issues I had with Bulk and Skull. They did show some growth, but they were lucky enough to be on for 5 years. Most of the time they just stick to gags, and any big moment usually got washed over. Worst being King for a Day. No one believed what they did. Fran got decent payoffs and a basic ending with her going around the world with Dom. Simple, but good.
Jungle Master Mode.
A team about fast action and close combat fighting? What do you do as a team power-up? Strap some rockets on and give them a giant claw. Besides the Dragon Yo-Yo, these are the most far-fetched power-ups the show's gotten. They've been the usual body armor, shields, or flashy weapons, but thrusters that shoot the Rangers in all directions is kind of crazy. It does aid in the fancy over-the-top wirework and the slow motion of the Disney days. Besides the thrusters, the upgraded suits were nice looking, focusing on white and armor. The spots became the thrusters of the suit, although putting some of them on the sides were weird. It always looked like they would burn their arm off. The helmet's got fins around the edges, which is my favorite bit. The main weapon is the Claw Booster, another close-range melee weapon. It's generic, all you can do is slash or activate it. I like these power-ups. I wish these were the default suits for the series. While I do like the base suits, the slimmed-down body made the helmets look bigger on the stunt actors. With the Master Mode suit, they look more proportional.
RJ.
I'm a broken record with RJ, but he is a really good character. The best character JF has. It's something that Jungle Fury was able to pull off surprisingly well. Many times when PR creates the personality of a character, it's very different from the source footage, a lot of times causing issues when it comes to stories or just the mannerisms. Example, Jake. He lines up with Go Sager footage, but in no way works as Doc for Go Kaiser footage. Go and Geki Ranger is very serious, a complete 180 from RJ, yet his mannerisms and personality still work great with the footage. He teaches in the style of Mr. Miyagi. Doing one thing here helps you in another way there. I know some people don't care for him due to his upbeat hippie-like behavior, but it did give him that charm. It also keeps him unique from other mentors like Tommy, Udana, Zordon, and Dr. K. The best thing is that while he can be confusing or mysterious, he isn't annoying, answers your questions, and isn't condescending like Gosei.
Jungle Karma Pizza.
I know this pick at number 2 is weird. I've always wanted this done. Jungle Karma pull all the good aspects of hangout locations with the Rangers hideout. It cuts down with all the back and forth, allowed stuff, and problems on their off hours. RJ had something to do for the first half of the series, unlike Ernie and Megaforce. Fran was a part of the story from the beginning by dealing with the store, finding out their secret, and going insane trying to run it alone, which was more enjoyable than, say, Lily in Mystic Force, who just randomly stopped in from time to time to be useful for the plot. It's best to have the Rangers own the place. Don't get me wrong, the juice bar in MMPR was used well, but that was because of it being around for 5 years. Use location to your best ability, which is what's annoying about Ninja Steel. They have a school setting that is only there for Victor and Monty jokes.
The Spirit Rangers.
I like this plot. Did I say I like this plot? I like this plot. Having masters that teach the Rangers was a great idea. Besides RJ's dad, the other ones didn't really have anything to do. That was a big problem in Geki Ranger also. The Anima Masters were fun, but pretty useless. So why not capitalize on this and create another team of Rangers? The best part about it was that the way they were created. Instead of the usual, we find out later that the Masters have suits, or they got brainwashed and became bad. They went into the direction of kidnapping the Masters, torturing them into creating enemy Spirit Rangers. You worry about the Masters, Spirit Rangers can be evil, and original American footage, so they can do whatever they want. Plus, the suits use the Jungle Master Mode white, which I like better. This is what I love about PR. As long as the characters are used well, new Rangers that are added in are welcome. Jungle Fury is on that fine line of being an okay season and a bad season. There's a lot of aspects of the season I really liked when looking back at it. The theme, most of the characters, the look, the ideas. That writer's strike really hampered the season with some god-awful episodes. The worst clip show ever done for the franchise, plus dumbing down of all the abilities from Geki Ranger. Last, Cassie and Jared's personality were annoying. If these things didn't happen, this season would have been in my okay list. What are your thoughts on Jungle Fury? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you agree that it could have been a fine season if those foul-ups didn't happen, or was it a lost cause no matter what? And if you have a topic you'd like me to cover, leave a comment down below. Next week, I'll be dodging those wolf attacks and covering the good aspects of Power Rangers Mystic Force.